Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 8 of the Matty Media Cast with me, Mr. Burbsy, and Mr. Matty J with me as always. And today we've got a very special guest, and he shall be known as Jack. And that's it. You don't get any more.
Yeah, that's all. That's
Fucking
all.
Jack, mate.
See you later, Jack.
A very good friend of mine. I've known him for years. He's very into his movies, as we are, so it only made sense that he come and join us today. He's got some stuff he wants to talk about that me and Matty ain't got a clue about, so may as well. Plus, you know, he's good company and he's sure to give you a laugh because the kid's hilarious and I love him.
You're putting too much on me now. I'm not going to be funny.
You make me laugh either way, Jack, so it don't really matter.
Yeah, with you, all I have to do is mention my rage the other night and you're giggly.
Mate, that is very true. That was like literally the funniest thing that's happened for ages. It really is. It's hilarious. But anyway, back to it.
Right.
We shall start with the news, I suppose. Obviously, we had last week off for a personal reason of mine. I only have to apologise for that, but you know, it is what it is.
No need for an apology, lad. No need.
We've got obviously plenty of news to talk about. There's been lots and lots going on in the world of everything. Basically, the whole world is delayed.
Yep.
Sum it up.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know where to start, to be honest. I think the main one to mention to begin with is Black Widow. That's been delayed until the end of July, which it was come as quite a surprise because the fact that the CEO of Marvel came out and says it's not getting delayed, 100% it's going to be out on time, and then a week later it's delayed until July. I'm only assuming it's for the purposes of people going to see it in cinemas.
Yeah.
Even though it's still going to be on Disney Plus, just with premiere access, and if you're an idiot, you'd pay that, but I wouldn't because it's a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah.
I think I seen it was like 30. Oh, the one I seen it was like $30, which is what, about 24 quid. Hell no.
About that, yeah.
I'd rather just go to the cinema. It's 2 tickets to the pictures.
I was gonna say that's like a family ticket, like a family pass to it,
and a bucket of popcorn. So you know who's the real winner there. You get a bucket of popcorn. You get
but it just doesn't. Like, it doesn't make sense because the cinemas are opening from the 17th of May onwards. Like, it really doesn't make sense. Like, as if it's weird because the cinema chain's been impacted so much since the start of lockdown. It's like the films want it impacted even more. It's just so annoying. But I suppose we've got to work alongside of it for the rest of the world because.
Yeah,
not everywhere will see it.
I mean, if I'm spending 30 quid on Black Widow on top of a subscription for Disney Plus, I expect Scarlett Johansson to come to my house and watch it with me.
Mate, that's true. That would be great. That would be good, wouldn't it? It'd be interesting.
It would.
Just knock on your door.
Have a sit down. Get some popcorn.
Oh, right.
You're asking about this. You're asking about the scenes in the movie. You're like, so in this scene here, what happened?
Oh, good lord. Anyway, but amidst the Black Widow controversy, we also have Venom 2. That's also been delayed until September 17th. I think that was due to come out in May as well. Don't know what that. Obviously, I had no idea why that one's been delayed. I'm assuming they just haven't finished the film. It is what it is. I mean, it seems that no one else is really like affected by it anymore. But it just seems like the movie industry is just like, nah, mate. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it was something to do with an injury or something on set. Like one of the main actors has been injured, so they've had to hold back a few. It was something like that. Like they've had to hold back a few things to film.
Yeah.
Because one of the main actors has been injured, so you can't have him one scene fine, and the next minute he's got a cast. He's got a cast on his leg. Or
just
one
right
of
in
them got
the film.
COVID or something.
Yeah. Right in the film. Looking is it Tom Hardy? Is Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy.
Yeah, it's Tom Hardy.
Yeah. 1 minute he's fine, the next minute he's got full body cast just walking around like, hello.
Yeah, because he's going up against Woody Harrelson. Is it
Oh,
Woody Harrelson?
the guy out of Zombieland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going up against him. That'll be funny to watch.
Oh god, I don't know if I could take him seriously.
That's what I mean. It'll be so funny to try and watch him there. He's like, you got Tom Hardy being like, I'm Venom, and you got Woody Harrelson there going,
I want a damn Twinkie.
I want a Twinkie.
Yeah. Well, they mixed, obviously after Venom 2, they've announced that Free Guy, the film starring Ryan Reynolds as a video game character, that's been delayed from May until August the 13th. Obviously, this isn't the first time this one's been delayed. This was meant to come out last year, and it's been delayed again.
Yeah.
Which is a bit disappointing because I was looking forward to seeing that, to be fair. Because it does look pretty good. But along with that, there's also The Kingsman, which is obviously part of the Kingsman series. Stupid question.
That's the prequel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's back in set in the olden days. To be fair, I wasn't that stoked about it, to be totally honest with you, because I liked the previous ones. Yeah, I like the original actors, but
yeah, I like the originals.
Well, that's been delayed until 3 days before Christmas, on the 22nd of December. So
people are gonna go watch it at that time.
I know it's a silly time to release a film. I think like when
it's funny.
Some movies will release on like Boxing Day or Christmas Eve, aren't they? Like,
yeah, you say that, but you'd be surprised how many people come to the cinema on Christmas Eve. You'd be very surprised, and especially Boxing Day, you'd be really, really surprised.
But I feel like that's for bigger movies, like movies that have got such a fan base and such traction in the industry, like Star Wars, or stuff of that like caliber. Not Kingsman. I don't feel like you'll drag enough people in.
No, but
especially with everything that's gone on in the world recently, like Christmas this year, with like obviously everything that's happening with COVID, jobs layoffs. It's going to be a more tight Christmas, if that makes sense for a lot of people. So releasing the movie 3 days before Christmas, I can see not going very well.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go very, very well, to be honest. But obviously, that's if it actually comes out at that time. You know, like 3 months down the road, they might change their mind and say, "Oh, we'll bring it out in 2 weeks" or something like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
like I mean, to be fair, you know what it is. Like, as much as everything's went on in the world recently, I think I've heard like from multiple people like saying they can't wait till the cinema opens again, because like that was people's freedom, just being able to go and see a movie. Like when we were open during like the first sector of lockdown, when we were still open, like you'd be surprised how many people turned up to the cinema just to get that little bit of freedom from everything. But
yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it, to be fair. Like, I really, in a perfect world, I'd watch Godzilla vs Kong.
Yeah.
In cinemas. Yeah. That's the one I'm like waiting for most, because I think that kind of film is better experience, like in that sort of environment. You know what I mean?
You get more of like an idea of how big the actually would be in real life, don't you?
Yeah. Like you know, I feel kind of underwhelmed when I'm watching something brand new at home. Obviously, I'm not like thingy, but it's not like I'm watching it on like a 3-inch screen or something. You know what I mean? But it's like you don't get like the experience of a new film like that. I think that's the whole thing with the cinema. I think that's why so many people miss it so much, because none of the new films that I've watched I've particularly been interested in. Like we spoke about Coming to America the other week. Like, I think if I watched that in cinemas, I might have felt a little bit differently about it. But the fact that I watched it, I just the whole time I just felt like disinterested and like distance from the whole story of the film. I was just like, just felt like I couldn't be bothered to watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
obviously when you go somewhere, you pay the money for it. You're more invested in it because you paid the money. You want to go in invest your time. That's what you're doing, ain't you?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You go to the cinema to relax and sit on a nice comfy chair with good surround sound.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're at home, you can still, in theory, have the same experience, but just not to the extent of a cinema. You can have your own surround sound, but nothing's going to beat a Dolby Atmos speaker. It's just nothing.
Obviously, you've got the whole, you turn your phone off at the cinema. You shut the, beyond them doors. Everything else is gone. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You don't pay attention to it. You turn your phone off. That's it. You're fully 100% focused on the film in front of you. But if you're at home, obviously you don't have the distraction. Your phone will start ringing. You'll think, "Oh, I'll leave this on while I'm just talking to my nan or something." You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, what cinemas are you going to that are that comfy? So one thing when I'm in the cinema is I always get that one seat with the spring that just sticks in the back of your neck, and you're the entire movie
Obviously, I can't really give my full opinion on who I'd prefer, because obviously given my job role. But obviously, then again, Odeon's always top notch for me. I know our cinema, we've just had the screens are getting renovated, so they've now got new leather comfy seats in, and honestly, when I say they're so comfortable,
Mm.
And you know what it is? It's when they offer you that extra leg room and they offer you that extra comfy seat, they literally are offering you something so much better than the seats in front. I know the seats are just sort of the same, but literally you have headrests, whereas the normal seats you don't. You've got extra leg room, or honestly, so comfortable. Yeah.
I'm a tall guy, so I'm uncomfortable in most seats I sit in for a while. I need to stretch my legs, I need to lie down, my neck hurts. It's true. It just gets very uncomfortable for me. Whereas Matt goes to the cinema, he sits on the chair, his feet aren't even touching the floor anymore. He's
your legs are swinging back and forward. It's just
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
You Jack, if you're tall, you'd be one of them twats in the cinema who would think, "Will you move your fucking head? I can't see you off the screen." I'm joking.
The last time I went to the cinema was opening night for Endgame, and I was sat right at the front. And there was this person behind me just kept talking all the way through the movie, and I was literally about to snap and turn around and punch him. I was like, "Mate, you're ruining a once in a lifetime experience for me. I've waited a year for this."
Yeah.
I
can't remember the last thing I went to see. I definitely went and saw Endgame. I just can't remember.
Last thing I went to see was Honest Thief, Liam Neeson's latest film, which I rate 10 out of 10. It was a fantastic film. It really was. Liam Neeson, how his films are pretty much similar to every single one that he does. Taken is so similar to Non-Stop. Non-Stop's so similar to
Taken 2.
Yeah, exactly. Honest Thief does have sort of similarities to all these other films, but it's I think personally the last gripping film he made probably was Taken. But Honest Thief, Honest Thief's class. It's a really good film. I massively recommend it for people if you want a Liam Neeson film to watch other than Taken.
I've got a good Liam Neeson film. Dead Man. You know what? It's a Liam Neeson superhero movie, and he's basically a guy who made a synthetic skin. The mafia blows him up. Half his face is all burnt off, he's all deformed. His teeth are all out and everything. And he basically makes fake masks of real skin to impersonate people, and he goes around killing them.
Sounds pretty fucked
up. It's from the 90s. It's 95, so it's older than me.
It sounds it.
It is honestly it's a weird movie to watch, but it's really good. The practical effects for his makeup are really good. He doesn't look he's got fake teeth on his lips. It looks like it's actually like his lips are gone. It's weird how they did it,
Yeah.
It just sounds
but
strange.
it's
It does sound very
well.
strange. But
If
anyway,
anyone wants to watch a strange Liam Neeson movie,
right, moving on. Carrying on with the movie news. There's some new films that have been announced,
Which
or
I'm
at least
excited.
announced to be in production. Anyway, I'll start off with Ace Ventura 3.
Buzzing.
It's confirmed to be in
Can't wait.
development, and that it's got the same writers as Sonic the Hedgehog. And holy moly, I seen it and I was like, oh my god!
I can't wait.
Like
I feel like that.
the whole hair
I feel
flick,
like they'll ruin it.
everything. They probably will, but you know what? I want to get excited for it. It probably will be the same situation as like Coming to America. They'll do some stupid storyline, and
They'll
it
try
won't
and
make sense.
Well,
But
they'll try and pander to the fans and like reference the previous movies. Like he might do the slow motion football scene, like oh,
mate, mate, I swear to God, Jack, you'll vouch for me here. Like literally 95% of our college years were just quoting Ace Ventura.
it
I'm
was.
not even literally every minute of every day there was an Ace Ventura quote somewhere, and it was the best time of my life.
Like, most of the time, the ones we heard from you is you'd be somewhere in the room and all you hear is "I can't do it, Captain."
Yeah, I did
Which in
have
itself
the
is a-
power.
Which in itself is a Star Trek reference.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, taking the mick out of Captain Kirk.
No, it's
Oh no, it's Scotty.
yeah. I was
Scotty.
gonna say it's the Scott guy.
Yeah, but obviously it does take them like the piss out of Captain Kirk in that scene, doesn't it? 'Cause he does the whole Stargate 23.9 right up to the nearest decimal point. Yeah, I could literally quote Ace Ventura from start to finish. That's like how obsessive it got to. Ah, God, good
Feel like they
times.
were Jurassic Park.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, yeah, it's emotional. So I'm really excited for that. No doubt they will probably ruin it, and then I'll get really upset and everything. But you know what? With high hopes. Obviously, it's not even in process of being filmed yet, so it's in early development. So
Gotta be optimistic.
it
Gotta
probably
be
won't be
optimistic.
out for another good couple of years, maybe, depending on how quickly they want to spaff it out.
Yeah.
In other news, it's been confirmed that there's a new Transformers movie coming out again.
Which I can't wait. Can't wait.
Are you not tired of them?
Kind of.
Like you know what it is, right? When we discussed a couple of weeks ago in regards to Fast and Furious being over produced, I do think
Overplayed.
that's true. Like Fast and Furious has been like dragged on far too much. But Transformers, I don't know what it is about Transformers. It's just I really enjoyed it. Like, because you know Fast and the Furious, you know how Fast and the Furious made like a spin-off for Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
Did like it. I just couldn't get into it. I mean, it probably is good. I just didn't give it enough time. But like, you know how Transformers did a spin-off for Bumblebee.
That was
Like
good.
that was a fantastic film.
That was really
like
good.
that was put together brilliantly, and it's just like I just found it like class. Like the past Transformers as well was just. I mean, yeah, it's not as good as the previous ones. I mean, if I could be honest, I'd like to have Shia LaBeouf back.
Yeah, that's kind of
back
where
in the
I lost
Transformer.
interest. I mean,
Well, his character's dead, isn't it?
is it?
I don't think so. Don't
Yeah, he is.
know.
In the last one where he had like they pulled the sword, it was like the whole King Arthur thing.
Hmm.
The is it Anthony Hopkins? Who played Hannibal Lecter? He was in it, wasn't he? He was like that eccentric old
Oh
English
yeah.
man. He said to the girl, "You're the last line of the wikis," and you see a picture of Shia LaBeouf. And in the first movie with Mark Wahlberg, do you know how Optimus Prime was so injured?
Hmm.
When he comes back, the first words out of his mouth is "Sam, run."
Oh no.
So his character's dead.
Oh, shady that is. Fucking shady. Broke my heart. I don't want to watch it anymore.
That's it. I'm sick. I'm sick of it. Oh
I mean, I have some reservations about it. Obviously, I didn't necessarily enjoy the last ones that much. I think they took it in a bit of a weird direction. I mean,
Yeah.
but obviously they've confirmed who the director is and who it's been written by, and they haven't really done a lot. The director's someone called Angel Manuel Soto, and I looked him up, and he hasn't really directed anything major. It's only been like short films and stuff like that. So I'm kind of skeptical.
Yeah, in that
being
case,
his like first big film, it might not be.
He just has to do the Michael Bay treatment. If you think a scene's getting too boring, explosions.
Yeah, throw in a lens flare. Get Linkin Park on the phone.
Steal some footage from the Matrix.
Yeah, get Linkin Park on. Fucking win. Easy.
The first movie, that Linkin Park song at the end of the first Transformers movie.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That was probably the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
For me personally.
Yeah, it was good. The first three. I know a lot of people didn't like number 3. Dark Side of the Moon? It is, isn't it?
Is that not the latest one?
No.
No, that's the third one. That is.
It's one where like the other Prime, like Optimus Prime's uncle or something, comes into it, isn't it?
Yeah, the original.
He was on the moon.
Yeah, one of the original 9. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where that goes, but yeah, it is what it is. Again, it'll probably be a good while until that actually comes out because it's still in early production.
Yeah.
But in other film news, which has been a few, the director of John Wick has confirmed that he's developing a film a film adaptation of the game Ghost of Tsushima. I know that came out last year, or was it year before? And it was like really rave reviews. Everyone loved it. It was like a really, really hype game. I haven't played it myself, but I know it's very popular. And they've confirmed that they're going to make a film adaptation of it. And I think they're looking to get the guy who actually played the main character in the game to do the main character in the film as well, which would be quite interesting. I think a lot of fans would actually enjoy that.
It's the question of if a voice actor can act, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, you could put on the voice, but can you do the facial expressions and the?
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of some games like that. They're actually the actors doing the voices are actually mocapped, so it's actually them that are doing the actions and stuff like that. But it'd be interesting to see. To be fair, might have to actually play the game first. You know what I mean? It's one of them. I've never been into them sort of games though. I think it's like a Japanese style anime film kind of thing. Never actually watched it. Something to invest in, I suppose.
The Ghost of Tsushima, it was like so like ranted and raved about. Like I've never seen like so many people talk about it. Like, for example, like obviously it came out roughly around about the same time as Death Stranding, and like that was a brilliant game. But yeah, I'm still yet to play it. And Jack, you will have to play it since you've just got the PlayStation 5. You definitely will have to buy it and play
I've
it.
literally just looked up online. I recognise the poster for it and everything. It does look interesting. It's
$54.99.
It looks like quite a good samurai game.
Yeah, I think that's what it's based on, basically. But
yeah, and it's
as far as I know from what I've read before, that the actual island that the game's set on is actually a real life island. It's set like in real life, and I know that a lot of fans of the game actually like petitioned together to restore the island as to how it is in the game. How mint would that be? You get to play a game and then like actually go there in real life. That'd be mint, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, but you'd go there and you'd have a bunch of cosplayers.
Yeah, just
like around. You'd have one really good cosplayer, like he's made his suit out of all metal. It's like proper samurai. And then you'd have someone over there with toilet roll tubes on him.
Yeah, I bought this one
Like-
for B&M.
Yeah, he pulls out like a toilet roll sword he's made at home. He's there just whacking around the head with it. You're like, mate, go away from me. He's like, Tsushima. Woo!
Yeah, he's bought a roll of wrapping paper and just took the inner tube out, just running around with that.
And then you'd have some people showing up like dressed in like as Jedi's, whacking out lightsabers and everything like. Zoo.
That'd be interesting.
I'd hate to see that. I'd hate to see that. No.
Bit of laugh though.
And then I'd just roll in dressed as like a cowboy from Red Dead Redemption. Pretend I'm
I'd
dead.
be running as a T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
Burbsy comes running in slow motion with a tutu on.
Yeah, damn right. 251! 251! What? Hike! But anyway,
That'd be funny.
moving on from that god awful mess of cosplay. They've actually Netflix have confirmed that they're in the making of a prequel to the Witcher series. I don't know what it's gonna. I can't remember what it's gonna be called. If they've said what it's gonna be called yet, but I know they've cast the main character already. I can't remember who it is, which is quite unprofessional. But it's actually so much of a prequel. It's meant to be set 1,200 years before the events of The Witcher. I mean, leaving it pretty vague.
So,
but yeah, it'll be interesting.
ah,
I mean, I'm a
what's
big
his
fan
name?
of Geralt.
Sorry, carry on. No, not Geralt, the guy who trained him.
Oh god, I can't remember.
Because I'm pretty sure in the story it said he's like the oldest and he's about 1,800 years old, so he could appear in
Yeah,
it.
it could be. Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting you, carry on.
No, it's alright. I'm just gonna quickly Google it. I can't remember where I saw it. I think it was on IMDb.
Yeah, so he could lead to like the because in the games you learn that the castle, like where the wolf school was sacked, wasn't it? And all the wolf students were killed. So I guess it could lead into that sort of.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see where it would go. Because obviously, I don't think any of the games would be set on that sort of time, would they? So it would be interesting to see what they kind of create. Obviously, I'm looking forward to the next season, The Witcher.
Yeah, that's something I can vouch for as well.
Yeah,
and you know what I'm looking forward to, like where you don't have to, when you can rerun it again, like when you know, like when it's coming up towards
the
new season,
you watch it all again,
and you watch it all over again, and then you've got the new one. Oh, it's class, man, class.
I've watched The Witcher twice now. I watched it once by myself. Now I watched it once again when I got a girlfriend. And she's not into fantasy stuff, but I got her into it and she really likes it. And I got my mom to watch it, and if I have to hear my mom mention Henry Cavill's ass one more time in those leather trousers, I'll find the man himself and I will slap it. But yeah, I love that. I just love how blunt he is. Like, he has the character down perfectly. Like, he's read the books. I wouldn't say he's the perfect casting for it. I feel like there could be other people that look more like Geralt of Rivia. But for someone who has the knowledge of how it's done, he is definitely the best casting for it.
To be fair, he don't look far off. I mean, like, I was a bit skeptical when he was announced as actually to play Geralt. But then when I actually came to watching it, it actually like really surprised me, to be fair.
Well, he's a proper gamer, isn't he? Like, he almost missed out the call for Superman because he was playing World of Warcraft.
Imagine that.
If you've ever watched the Graham Norton show, you mentioned it in that.
Yeah, I know he had like a series that he did on one of his socials where he was building his own gaming PC, weren't he?
Yeah.
Oh, people are going crazy for that.
Yeah, he does seem like a pretty good guy, doesn't he? To be fair.
Watched quite a good movie today, actually, with him in it. Night Hunter. If just like to go off topic a little bit, Night Hunter. It's on Netflix. It's a really good movie. Watched it today. Yeah, so it stars Henry Cavill as one of like a police. He's a police officer in America, but he has a British accent the entire
Oh, okay.
time. So it is really good if anyone wants to give that a watch.
I also, I don't know if you watched it, but I also liked him in Enola Holmes.
I liked him in it. I feel like there should have been more of him.
Yeah, true. I did like that though. I did like that film. That was a good movie. That was.
I mean, my favourite performance by Henry Cavill is his performance in Stardust. It's magnificent.
There we
his
go.
blonde
I found
hair,
it.
his blonde mustache, and his sword fighting for his lady.
Yeah. I saw. I found. I found where I found it. Right. It's called The Witcher: Blood Origin. It's currently in the works at Netflix, and the lead cast is an actor called Lawrence O'Florian. Don't know how to say his name. It's set in an elven world 1,200 years before the events of The Witcher. Blood Origin will tell a story lost to time, the creation of the first prototype Witcher, and the events that lead to the pivotal conjunction of the spheres, when the worlds of monsters, men, and elves merge to become one. So it's like a origin story, basically, of how the world came about, which be interesting, to be fair.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, so hopefully that comes out pretty well, and hopefully we hear some more news on it soon. And let me just Google this guy's name, because I don't recognise his face. I was in Vikings.
Oh, that's
Is he the
good show, that.
He's a character.
Is he the main guy?
He's called Hakon.
Mm.
Hakon in Viking.
Yeah.
Hakon.
Other films, there's none that really stand out to me. A film called Void of Gods and Warriors, Black 47. He was in Game of Thrones as well. His character was called Simpson in an episode which was called Mother's Mercy. I can't really comment because I've never watched Game of Thrones, so
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Personally, I mean, they're two different shows, but if I was to choose between Game of Thrones and Vikings, I'd probably watch Vikings.
Yeah.
I know Thrones is like...
You smoking crack?
I do Game of Thrones. It's like
Mate.
not...
Oh my god, I love you.
Oh,
Are you drunk?
like,
I just don't like it. Like, nothing you say will change my mind to like Game of Thrones.
I've never watched it, which I probably should do at some point, but
So
I've never
many
got around to
people get me to watch it. When I worked for Sky, so many people tried to get me to watch it.
just watch it for the boobs.
it.
Like most men who watch Game of Thrones
Yeah.
for.
Forget about everything else. Just watch it for the
I like.
I'm getting evils off my girlfriend. She's probably.
It's like when you put a series on the, and then you pick up your phone, and then you play it on your phone, and then you like you look at your phone, then you look up the TV, and you realise you've got halfway through an episode and have absolutely no idea what's happening in the episode. That's literally with Game of Thrones. Like, I'll like put the episodes on and watch it, and then I'm on my phone like instantly, and it's like half an episode's gone, and I just wasted my time. I finished season 1, but it just wasn't enough to keep us on.
Yeah, I will give you that Game of Thrones is a bit of a harder thing to get into, but like I find with Game of Thrones, there's a lot more characters I like.
Yeah.
And like the story, like some of the redemptions, especially with like certain characters later on, like Jaime Lannister, Tyrion Lannister, Jon Snow, all of them, their characters, their development is really good. And I know in Vikings they had that, but there's a lot of characters in Vikings I just can't stand. I can't remember the names. I mean, I like Floki. I like Ragnar, and I like Ivar. My girlfriend doesn't like Ivar. She's weird.
Just like some of the stuff in Game of Thrones, like some of it's well, from what I've seen in season 1, was decent. But like when you see like random snippets, like surfaced on the internet, and you watch just like that scene when I can't remember who she was. You know, the scene where she's walking through the streets and they're chucking shit off her.
Cersei.
Is it because she slept with her brother or something? Was something like that. And she was... Go on.
It was something like that. Yeah, I can't remember the exact reason, but they basically shamed her in the streets. So
I'm
Sweet
positive.
home Alabama.
Yeah, exactly. I was keeping up with her brother, and I'm sure as soon as she gets back to the kingdom, she literally burns the entire kingdom with oil. She kills like pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
With Dragon's Fire, it's
that one.
Interesting fact. Dragon's Fire is actually based off of a real thing that we had in our world, and it was I think it was like Greek fire or something like, or Persian fire, and it was basically a fire that could burn on water, and the more water you added onto it, the more fire it emerged. And even today, we can't recreate that formula, what they had thousands and thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
And that's what Game of Thrones used in the shows to represent Dragonfire. It was based off a real life thing.
Damn.
There you go. Useless fact for you.
Yeah.
That will never come back up again, but you know, it's a bit of knowledge.
The last bit of movie news that we've got for this episode, anyway, for this week, is that Avatar has officially retaken the title of highest grossing movie of all time. James Cameron basically re-released it, got his balls out and teabagged of Marvel. So that's basically what he's done. He re-released it in Asia. It's took off in the cinemas again, and now it's overtook Endgame as the highest grossing movie. Which, to be fair, it was like an absolutely amazing film. I know some people didn't like it, but for me, it was one of the best films ever.
Crap movie. It is. It's so rubbish. Avatar is.
You have the cheek.
I like it a little bit, but at the same time, it's big blue people. Oh, big blue people save a tree.
I think it was the scale of it. I think it kind of
it's the scale.
It was like more like of a revolutionary film, wasn't it? To be fair, like I think it graphically was amazing. When you put even some of the movies now that are coming out, if you put it up against Avatar would win on visuals.
Oh yeah,
visuals alone, it was absolutely like astonishing.
Honestly, Jack, let me take you to Florida and let me plant your arse on that Avatar ride. Honestly, do you know what it is, right? I went back in 2018, I think it was, when Avatar, the ride, literally just got released and launched. And like people would travel all over the world just to ride it, and there was like 4-hour wait queues. And honestly, do you know what it is? Like, it puts it into perspective how good the film actually is. It's just incredible. Oh man, it's just breathtaking. The ride.
See, when I hear about stuff like that, people traveling from around the world to go on a ride, I always think, what will it be like to watch them when they actually lose their virginity? Or talk to a girl for the first time in their life. Their heads must just go. Like...
Where the fuck did that come from? There?
I'm winning a both.
Right, that's it for this week. I'm only joking. Don't go anywhere. Oh my god, Lord.
I don't know. I think it's just. I think I was like the only like there was one lad in my school when Avatar came out. He went and saw it 7 times in 1 week.
That's a bit extreme.
And I was like, mate, I've seen it. It ain't that great. And he was like, no, it's the best movie ever made. I can't wait for number 2. He's like literally shaking at me, and I'm just like, nah. And I can understand why he released it in Asia, because in Asia, movies with time travel are banned, so Endgame wasn't really allowed in certain Asian parts of Asia. There we go. Got my words out.
Fun fact, other than Endgame, from what I've heard from staff at Odeon, apparently Avatar was the busiest film they've ever taken in for. Apart from Endgame, apparently Endgame was really, really busy, but apparently it was just next level.
Watching Endgame was the only time in the cinema where I've not really cared about people being loud or cheering, because I was with them.
The moment where Captain America gets Thor's hammer, I bet everyone was like,
"Oh, mate,
fucking yeah!"
Mate, I lifted it up and I went with my mate, and he looked at it and went, "Oh, he's calling his hammer back," and I was literally grabbed his arm and went, "Oh my god!" I knew what was coming. I was squeezing him. He was going, "Jackie hurting me." I was like, "No." The second he caught it back again, mate, we were all stood up screaming, cheering. Popcorn was flying.
Take it like a man.
Yeah, there was one guy in the row next to me, and he was a proper big guy with a long beard. When Thor showed up fat with that beard, I swear he was cheering just for himself. He was like, "Yeah, I've got the body of a god."
That's me. I did like that, to be fair. I did like that.
I mean, the woman who plays Gamora, she's just laughing because she's the only actress in the world in the two biggest movies of all time.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is crazy. Anyway, so yeah, Avatar is back on top. So watch out, Marvel are gonna re-release Endgame with an extended cut. Get all the Marvel people back in the cinemas. It's gonna overtake.
They already did that. Never know.
You didn't see anything.
No.
Yeah.
Release the Snyder Cut Justice League Endgame.
Yeah. Right. I think that's all the movie news we've got for this week. Right. But there is some gaming news to talk about.
That's right.
We'll start off with the fact that the new Call of Duty has been, I don't know if it's been leaked or teased.
Or leaked there. So.
A little bit of both. But it's confirmed to be set in World War II. Like the World War II. It's going to be called Vanguard. And it's being produced by Sledgehammer. Who developed Call of Duty World War II. But they have also been assisting Treyarch with Cold War as well. So it's going to be interesting. But fun thing I've heard today, that they've actually confirmed that they're using the same engine as Modern Warfare. So it's going to be more like Modern Warfare World War II.
Good.
I liked World War II. And I like Ghost, which was Sledgehammer's first game.
I didn't hate World War II, but I really disliked Ghost. Literally had no time for that game, other than the story mode. The campaign was really good, but the multiplayer was awful.
World War II multiplayer didn't really rate it. Zombies was decent. Zombies wasn't too bad. Made with the same engine as Modern Warfare, then I'm all for it. Yeah, because Modern Warfare's engine is brilliant.
Well, better than Cold War, isn't it? A lot better.
Yeah, because I know that it's in the works that apparently at some point Treyarch are meant to be bringing their engine over to Warzone, which a lot of the fans are going crazy about. They're not really favouring it.
Welcome to the end of Warzone.
But yeah, let's be optimistic.
I would love if they did like a Warzone but in World War II.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
But instead of having multiple teams of 4 people or 3 or whatever you play, it's like an actual proper battle, like you're on either side of the trenches and you got to fight, and it's like last man standing wins for that side.
That's not a bad shout, to be totally honest with you.
And then they could go one step further. Say like you could pick you could pick like a country to be part of. So say you want to be part of like the Nazis, or you want to be part of England or Russia.
Yeah.
And those factions, like say, each month can battle, and it's whoever's moved the most across Europe.
Yeah.
Mate,
I think that'd be quite good.
Unreal.
That would be really good. I feel like that would.
Right, it's like World Conquest, Call of Duty.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, sort of Elder Scrolls Online tried to do it, didn't they? If you ever played that, but that was rubbish.
I did try. I couldn't get into it at all with that game.
Nah.
They've also, I've seen today. I did share this on the Facebook page earlier. That Battlefield 6 is going to be announced in May, apparently. That's going to be revealed with the insider, but there has been a small leak of such that apparently they're making their own Warzone-like Battle Royale mode.
Which they have already done before.
Yeah.
They made Operation Firestorm, which wasn't too bad, but it's nothing extensive Warzone.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I mean, I'm excited for Battlefield. Battlefield 4. Didn't really play 5 that much, but Battlefield 3 and 4 were probably my favourite games on PS3 and PS4.
Yeah. Apparently it's meant to be getting modernised again. Apparently it's moving. Well,
yeah, there's only so much they can do. We like the old war games in it. You know what I mean? I think there's only so much they can drag out of World War 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that I think the last good-ish Battlefield game was probably Battlefield 4.
Yeah.
1 and 5 wasn't too bad, to be fair, but nothing compares to as good as 4 and 3.
Yeah,
I remember playing number 3 with you all day long, and it was just like class.
Yeah, I do agree with that one. But yeah, also
Battlefield 1 for me.
Battlefield 1 was like World War 1, was it?
Yeah, World War 1.
Yeah, that's one where they had the big like what's it called? Like the big Zeppelin. That's it. Yeah, the big Zeppelin that crashed down. Yeah, that one was okay. I did kind of enjoy that one. But when I actually played it, it just seemed like they'd always throw you into the same 3 maps online, which was like really frustrating. I can't remember what they're called, but there's the one with the palace. That was the one I always remember playing, but always. And you just
I remember playing that one.
And you just get all the snipers. Jack, your camera's gone off, bro.
Oh.
There we go. So we'll move on. The next bit of gaming news is about Resident Evil.
Oh, yeah. Resident Evil Village demo.
Yeah. The demo is confirmed to be coming out in the next few months. I know the game's not coming out to the end of the year, but there's like I can't think if it's a combat demo or something like that, but there's definitely a demo coming out soon, which I know a lot of people are excited for. Like a lot of people are simping over the lady I can't think of her name, Dimitrescu or something like that.
Yeah, the tall woman.
Yeah, she's like 11 foot tall or some shit like that, isn't she? A lot of people are simping.
Yeah, Resident Evil ain't my game, so.
Yeah, I mean, they did do like a little teaser, didn't they? I watched Daz Black on YouTube, and he did a little video on it. He played a little snip of the game, and you see this lady Dimitri at the end. So
Daz Black's good.
I love Daz Black. Big shout out to Big Daz.
Time for a tea party.
Yeah. Right, last of the gaming news. I don't know whether you guys have seen anything about this. Did anyone used to play Left 4 Dead?
I did.
Yes.
Of the developers of that game, they're making a new game called Back 4 Blood. Apparently, it's not a sequel to Left 4 Dead, so it's not actually part of the series, but it is extremely similar to the point where people are just calling it Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
But it has actually been delayed. It was meant to be coming out in the next few months, but it's been delayed till October now. I haven't seen the exact reason, but I know that was actually getting really quite hyped up in the gaming world. I did look at a little preview in a magazine that I have, and it looked like really interesting. Something I definitely want to play. It's a shame it's been delayed though.
I'm not sure if it's going to be Xbox only.
I will see. Obviously, I don't know. Yeah, but I think
Xbox needs some exclusives.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it would be. Obviously, being an Xbox exclusive, you'd probably be able to play it on a PC anyway.
Yeah.
Being Microsoft, so it wouldn't really affect me anyway. So it'd just be people on PS4, PS5 that miss out, unfortunately. But I don't think there's any confirmation that it's an exclusive to anyone yet. But yeah, shame. Everything's been delayed, basically. The whole world is saying we need more time. Or in the words of Boris Johnson, you've had too many days off, and I get back to work. Yeah.
Hey, he's lifting lockdown for his birthday.
Yeah, 'cause he's a fat blonde. Yeah. Right, anyway, we shall move on. Jack, this is your moment to shine, sunshine.
The Snyder Cut.
Jack's going to talk to us about the Snyder Cut, a 4-hour-long film of Justice League, which I know me and Matty haven't watched. So Jack's going to take the helm on this one, give you a bit of a lowdown. And
right, so I've watched it. Oh, sorry.
Is there going to be any spoilers?
I can do a non-spoilery review of it.
If you want, mate. It's just if it was just to confirm that there would be, so people, if they don't want to know, they can just like.
If any spoiler comes up, I'll say like before, bit of a spoilery bit.
Okay.
Snyder Cut. So where to start? I've seen it twice now, so I've spent 8 hours of my life watching this movie.
Oh.
Yeah, and I even watched the other Justice League, the old one.
Yeah.
To compare, because I am that much of a saddo when it comes to gaming, comic book movies.
They've released it in black and white as well, haven't they?
Yeah, they released the black and white version. I haven't seen the black and white version. I've only seen the color.
Yeah. The
first thing I gotta say about this movie, if you're expecting to go in and see a completely different movie, sorry if you can hear that, my dog's just woke up. If you're going into this expecting to see a completely new movie, a completely different thing, it is and it isn't. It's changed enough that it is almost like a new story. There's more elements added onto the pre-existing story. But because of that, there is still a lot of the problems that the original movie had. But
yeah.
With this new cut, it has answered a lot of the main problems that was there before. It's addressed a lot of things. It's gave characters more backstory, a bit more character than just, oh, they're there.
Yeah.
Like Cyborg, he's just there. He doesn't do anything. He just sort of stands in the background and glints in the sun, you know. But in this, he actually has character. He's a big part of the movie. So is Barry Allen's Flash. Barry Allen? Yeah. Batman has a bit more character to him. He's not as dark and cynical as he was in the previous movies. He's a bit more light-hearted.
Yeah.
Who is it that's playing Batman, sorry? Sorry, what was that?
Who was it that played Batman in this one?
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck still, yeah.
Yeah, still Ben Affleck. Jason Momoa's character, he's... Like, this movie leads a bit more up into Aquaman and everything, and, like...
Yeah.
You understand why his character's like he is in Aquaman. The biggest thing I can say about this movie is, like, I know Burbs, that you said you hated Jared Leto's Joker from Suicide Squad.
I wouldn't say hate. I just didn't enjoy it that much.
Well, this movie will make you like that Joker.
Oh, okay.
Which is something I never thought I would say. I've always ranked Jared Leto's Joker at the bottom of the pile. Like Lego Batman Joker is above him. But this movie has changed my perspective of the Joker. Like, I don't want to say anything because it will spoil it, but they got rid of his tattoos, which we saw in the photos. Like, that's not spoiling anything. He's got a different laugh. He's if I could all right, I'll use he's like a mix between Heath Ledger's Joker and Watkins' Joker. Like, he's got the mind of Heath Ledger's, like that sort of like criminal part to him, but he has like the mental
instability,
of Watkins' Joker a bit, and it just how he does it and how he acts it is a lot better in this movie than he was in Suicide Squad, where he was like covering his mouth to laugh and everything to go ah 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 ah. Whereas in this one, his laugh is like it sounds like it's painful for him to laugh.
I feel like in Suicide Squad, it felt like he was trying too hard.
Yeah, he was trying way too hard. Whereas in this, I feel like
he was probably comparing himself too much to Heath Ledger.
Yeah, he was trying to keep too much of it.
Yeah, I think he tried way too hard to like. He didn't make it his own. I think he tried too hard just to set it in a weird direction. It just it didn't work for me.
He was trying too hard to be Joker, not. It's hard to. He was trying to do things Heath Ledger did, like he was sending used condoms to Margot Robbie and bullets to Will Smith. He was doing all that stuff, whereas Heath Ledger, he took it to an extreme by locking himself in a hotel room for a month and cut himself off from all the people to get into his own head. Whereas Jared Leto, I think, in Suicide Squad, he was like, I'm just going to act a bit wacky and do weird stuff.
Yeah. I'll say Heath Ledger walked around with the makeup on and everything, didn't he? Like, he full on.
And I think, I think there were stories from the movie where they were like, oh, Jared Leto kept in character all the time. Like, oh, we didn't meet Jared Leto until the last day of shooting. Before that, he was only ever Joker.
Yeah.
And it was like, nah, I didn't like it. But Justice League, I'm not going to lie, the CGI in it isn't great. But it's obviously, they've had to work with a smaller budget than a full blockbuster. And they've had to redo a lot of stuff. So, for what it is really good. Like, there's just so many more things that are so much better. Like, the backstory, have you seen the original Justice League movie?
I mean, not
the
I
one
haven't,
from a few years ago.
Because I'm
2017.
I'm not that much of a fan of the DC world, to be honest.
Yeah. To be fair,
sorry.
I enjoyed Justice League, and I mean, I probably will watch the Snyder Cut at some point, but it's just 4 hours.
Well, the good thing with the Snyder Cut is you can watch it as hour-long episodes at a time. There is little, almost break points in it where it says, Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3.
Yeah.
So you can do that, and then at the end you'll see the epilogue, which does, a load of backstory and stuff. But the one thing that I feel like this movie does a lot better than the original, the battle scene, the ancient battle with, the gods, and you see Green Lantern, the ancient Amazonians and everything.
Yeah.
In the old movie, that was 2 minutes maybe?
Yeah.
If that. In this one, it's a full, feels like 15-minute battle scene.
Damn.
Yeah.
You see everything. You see, the Amazons, they do a ride in Lord of the Rings where they come over the hill.
Yeah.
You see them do that. They all come down. It's Amazons attack, and Diana says, oh, they did that battle before. They were immortals. They were still human women. They were normal humans at that point, but they still went into battle. And it's just a lot better. And Steppenwolf's CGI is so much better than that weird PlayStation 2 cutscene thing we had in the other one.
PlayStation 2 square head graphics.
Oh mate, that was it's appalling. That old Steppenwolf was. And
graphics on the PS2.
Mate, honestly, that old Steppenwolf is PS2 graphics. But this new one, he looks they've changed his voice a bit. His voice is a bit more deeper and growly. he actually looks like a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he looks big and demonic and scary. Whereas in the other one, he just looked like a cosplayer who got some really bad armor. Like, he does, man. He does. He's like, if you look at the old Steppenwolf's design with the armor, just look at his armor. It's like,
Yeah.
he's wearing shin pads.
Yeah.
He has shin pads on. And he has like some weird belt buckle that has like horns. It's like, yeah, intimidating. But yeah, this one is a lot better, and there is another superhero in it. I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, but there is another superhero in it who appears.
Yeah.
And he was in Man of Steel, so it does tie back to Man of Steel and everything. And
I think
it's
I know.
just nice.
I think I know who you're talking about.
You probably do. A lot of people do, because it was already, like, Zack Snyder said who it was ages ago. But like, it's also really nice to see Henry Cavill with a normal lip.
I was gonna say you say it, but just obviously warn people that there's gonna be a spot, and then just like if you do want to see this, like for anyone watching on YouTube, if you do want to hear a spoiler, and Jack warns you of a spoiler, like it's your own fault if you don't skip to like a couple of seconds video. But yeah,
Yeah, but I don't feel like I've spoiled
No,
anything
don't
for
really
anyone.
spoilers, is it?
what you've not like. I mean, even if you did, at the end of the day, you said you were.
Yeah.
It's fine, man.
Well, I'm trying. That's why I'm like struggling to get my words out, because I'm trying to figure out how to word it properly. But yeah, it's a long sitting to like sit and watch, but there's so much, and like the music that they've put into it, in particular in certain scenes of the movie, like especially like this isn't really spoiling anything because it was already on YouTube. Like when Flash runs through some glass to save someone, he in the clip that was on YouTube that they released where the CGI wasn't finished,
Yeah.
there was no music to it. It was just all like Barry Allen just like running. They added music into this, and like the music goes really well with the scene. That is one thing they've done really well. And then see, look, even the cats come to listen to me.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's so funny the cat's joining in on the podcast. Hey, you got anything to say? You got any input? No, it's just more interesting.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say really. Do you have any questions about the movie that I could possibly answer?
Would you say it's better than Justice League?
Would I say it's better than Justice League?
I know it's the same, but like, would you say it's a better cut than actual Justice League?
Oh God, yeah.
I was going to say, do you think? Because I mean, I've spoke to a couple of DC fans, and I know a lot of the DC fans said this is the film that should have been released, but didn't. Which in theory would, I mean, you know, it's sort of good in a sense that they released Justice League and then they released Snyder's Cut, because it means like it gives you something more to look forward to, because you've already seen Justice League, you've seen how it is, but the fact that they've added into like that film already just makes it so much better. It's just like, it's great knowing that it's a film you can watch one sector of, and then if you want to, you can go back to the next sector a couple of days later, and so on and so on. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, but if it was me, go on, you say.
It just makes you angry because you're like, even if they had cut it down to a normal length of a movie, say 2 hours.
Yeah.
With what was filmed and what you can see in the Snyder Cut, would have made a much better Justice League than we got originally.
Yeah.
And that's the annoying thing, because you're like, there's so many scenes in that are so much better that make more sense than what you've got in. Like the whole thing with Barry Allen going, "Oh, I'm scared of brunch. What is it, breakfast or lunch?" Like nobody cares. Like nobody cares. And then at the end, it's like the Flash and Superman have a race. It's like, "Oh, I gotta take you to brunch if I win." And like Barry Allen's like, "I feel betrayed." Like, no one cares. Nobody cares with your weird looking lip that you're gonna take Barry Allen to brunch. Nobody cares. But I want to see the black suit, and I want to see the nightmare scenes. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see Barry Allen talking about his fear of brunch. Like, who cares?
It's a weird thing to be scared of.
Yeah, like, you're the fastest man on the planet.
I'm scared of a meal.
Like, yeah, like, you can run at the speed of light, but you go, oh, brunch. Like, he's literally eating everything in the movie because he has to eat that many calories to keep up his speed. So, it's just...
He played an awkward character in the film, though, didn't he? Like, I'm sure he created himself off to be some sort of shy kid, and then Batman. It was Batman who taught him to, like, sort of like get a grip of himself, wasn't it? I'm sure it was Batman. It was
in the original. It sort of was, yeah. It was like he was like, I don't have many friends. I'm always doing something else. Like, whereas in this, you understand why he's more lonely because he's trying to prove that his dad didn't murder his mother.
yeah.
And he's like, he's trying to work up to like figure out a way to get his dad out. So he spends all his time doing that. Then obviously he gets his powers, so he does a bit of Flash stuff.
Yeah.
But like then you don't have that whole like scene where like the Flash is like, oh, I'm scared to help people or I'm scared to fight, and like Batman's like, just save one person. Like the Flash just does it. Like there's one very funny scene, not spoiling anything, but like some people are escaping, the Flash is helping, and he like runs past them all up the stairs and then comes all the way back down and like stands there and goes, come on guys, hurry up, and then he just runs off, and it's like you could just run down the stairs, grab each person and run them all up individually, but instead you're letting them walk and he like runs out ahead of them. And I feel like that's quite funny because he's a new superhero. He doesn't think maybe I should grab them and take them out.
Yeah.
He's never been.
Go on.
I was just going to say he's never been in that situation before. But sorry, carry on.
I mean, the obviously, like, not every film is perfect. Is there something minor, or is there something big that you would have personally added into it to make it perfect, or was it perfect enough for you?
That's a hard question because you compare it to the 2017 Justice League movie. So watching this, it's already an improvement on that. So you're thinking, yeah, you don't really think about, oh, what could be improved on it more. Yeah. I guess what could be improved on it would be some of the CGI, just a little bit of the CGI, and I don't know. I feel like some of the chemistry amongst some of the characters, I feel like could have been a bit, but like not all of them, a few of them could have been a bit better. Like Cyborg and Flash in the comics, they're like really close mates, and I feel like their chemistry could have been like they hit it off straight away, sort of thing. So they're two in the team that are closest in age.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously you got Aquaman, who was a bit of a loner, like he just sort of swims around and saves people. Batman, the ultimate loner. But yeah, like the highlight for the movie for me was definitely the last epilogue scene, which is the nightmare scene. Which you do see in the trailer. You see there's another nightmare scene that comes right near the end of the movie. And that part of the movie made it for me.
So would you recommend it to people?
Oh, yeah. I'd recommend people watch it in snippets, like an hour at a time, maybe an hour and a half at a time. Don't be like me, sit in your bed at 6 in the morning watching a 4-hour movie.
I mean, I could do that. I generally could do that. Like, I could literally watch the film. But it's whether or not I'm going to devote my time to doing that. It's either I devote my time and not give up, or I watch it in segments. But like, I don't know.
I also watched it on the toilet. That was good. Just
right,
like
Jack, rating out of 5. Let's go.
Toilet? Or you watched the entire thing on the toilet?
No, I watched probably like 2 hours of it on the toilet.
What a sad. That's like some serious dead legs. Like, get up and just fall flat on your face.
Yeah, but by that point it was too dry to wipe.
Oh, fuck off, man. Right, Jack, rating 5 out of 5.
I'd give it 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5.
Fairly decent then. Would recommend.
Yeah,
I've got
Would-
one more question.
go.
That'll not be a long topic of conversation, I promise. So you remember back? This might be spoilers for anyone. So like I was mentioned, but if you don't want to hear spoilers, then Burbs will put a section of the video of where you can skip to. But you remember back in Justice League for the ending credits, was it Deadshot that was going to meet Lex Luthor?
Yes.
Did he play a big part in this cut or not?
Deadshot. All right. Spoilers. No. Deadshot. That scene is still in this movie, but it's a bit extended. So in this one, you hear Lex Luthor. Basically, Deadshot's like, "Why did you bring me here? You offer me nothing."
Yeah.
And Lex Luthor goes, "I can tell you who Batman is," and he goes, "Nah, you're lying," and he tells him who Batman is. And then like you see Deathstroke, yeah, he like smiles and they have a drink together, and then it cuts to the nightmare scene, and Deathstroke is there in the nightmare scene on Batman's side.
Yeah.
Basically, you see what happened to the Justice League and who's like survived, and like you see like I like to call it like the Nightmare Justice League, and it's just like, I mean, it has the Joker in it, so
Yeah.
that tells you like how bad the situation is. That Joker is part of the team.
Yeah.
Oh, and you see 2 Green Lanterns in this movie.
Oh, let's go. Yeah, I'll watch it.
Right.
Yeah, you see the Green Lantern in the original battle that you saw in the other movie, but there's one other Green Lantern that you see.
I'm gonna watch that.
Sound. Right. We're just gonna have a quick break. We've been going for just over an hour now, so we're just gonna have a quick 5-minute break. I'll leave the stream running, obviously, and then we'll carry on. So yeah, we'll just pause it here for 5 minutes. Obviously we'll stay in the corner, and then
I need a toilet break.
Yeah, quick toilet break. So everyone in the stream, stay with us. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Right, so welcome back to episode 8. We just had a quick little break there. We'll continue where we left off. Jack had just finished talking about the Snyder Cut. We rated it, what did he say, 4 out of 5? We rated it
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Definitely will watch. So we'll move on to the next section. Right, so the next thing that we were going to talk about is we have chose our top movie theories.
Or top movie theories, yeah.
Yeah. So we've chose one each. Obviously, we'll do a quick little talk about it. Since this was Jack's suggestion, I'll let Jack go first.
You're saying this and it's just gone out of my head. Matt, you may go first while I try and remember my theory.
Go on then. So obviously I've got 2 and I'll make both quick. So my first biggest movie theory, one of them for me, is believe it or not, a lot of the fans seem to believe that John Wick is actually training for the Matrix, which when you watch the John Wick films and you understand what he's doing, it actually does make sense in comparison to the actual film. It does make perfect sense. Which I didn't realise. I googled more into it, and it did really shock us. Yeah, I know it's not very detailed, but the next one I can give you a detailed one, and I can vouch for this being a theory. So if I don't know if anyone's seen Jurassic Park: The Lost World, which features Jeff Goldblum, which is his own spin-off for the film. Well, not a spin-off, it's still the same series. But yeah, so there's a section in the film that shocked a lot of fans for years, and theories have been building up towards the reason behind it. So if anyone can remember back in the Lost World, towards the end, where the ship crashes into the dock, where it's meant to be ported up because they transport the T-Rex. And the little T-Rex for for their new park that they're making in San Diego. The ship crashes into the dock, and the crew members and the captain of the ship are all dead. No one has no idea why. Fun fact, the scene was actually meant to be in the film, but they deleted it out of the final cut of the film. But the theory for years, and I was one of the people who thought this, to be fair, one of the theory is that apparently before the ship sailed off from the island, which I think was Isla Muerta, when it sailed off from there, apparently a pack of raptors boarded the ship and killed the entire crew member, but somehow decided, yeah, we've killed the crew members, but we'll just hop back off into the island and go the rest of our day. Which always shocked me when I read into the fan theories. That was one of my main theories, but it just doesn't make sense. Because, well, why would raptors board a ship, then decide to get off the ship? And then the other theories for that is apparently the T-Rex went into the cabin and killed everyone, which is bullshit, because the ship was not wrecked. The ship was not wrecked. The only thing that was wrecked was the entire crew. And you can tell it was a pack of velociraptors because one of the actors goes into the deck of the ship, like what is it? The bridge. Yeah, it's the bridge. One of the actors goes into the bridge and he's asking where the crew member is to one of the shipman people, and he was like, "Oh, they're all over the place." Literally saying that like body parts were like literally all over the room. And there's only one dinosaur that's capable of doing that, and it's raptors. But it's a shame because even Steven Spielberg commented on the theory, and he confirmed that the theory was sort of similar to what they did, but they never released it. I just hope sometime in the future, I can't ever imagine it'll happen, but I hope that they release like deleted footage for the film, so it can put like a twat like me to rest, and I can like sleep at night knowing that my theory was right all along. But yeah, go ahead, Jack. Go ahead, boy. Go ahead.
Right, I've got multiple theories. A lot of them I don't have details on. My personal one, this is like one that I like to think of, is that the John Wick movies is an Assassin's Creed movie, but the assassins have become corrupted and gained power. And there is a few things that lead into it, like his skill set, his fighting, like how he can do certain things, like he falls from a building and survives, and he cuts off the same finger that Altair in the first Assassin's Creed movie has missing, which is the sacrifice finger. See, I can see Matt's face is like. So there is a few. There is more that leads toward that theory if you watch the movies, but I haven't watched them for a while, so that's one. There's. I just literally had it. It's gone out of my head again. Another one which I really like is that Snowpiercer. Have you seen the movie Snowpiercer?
No, I haven't. No.
You haven't seen it, right? So Snowpiercer is basically the world's ended in a global freeze, and the last of humanity is living on a train. And basically, everything's like finite, like literally everything. And there's like classes, so you got like second class and first class. But then there was a bunch of people who boarded the train, and they live at the back of the train. They're called tailies, and they basically live in squalor. Like they live in their own dirt. Like they have nothing. They eat these little like protein bars which just look like jelly. And so basically the theory is that Snowpiercer is a sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. For a few, there's a few reasons. The logo for the company is the exact same logo of Willy Wonka.
No.
Like on the gate, it's the W.
Yeah.
he has like all these mad inventions, like Willy Wonka did with like the train and everything.
Yeah.
Each train, like as he walks through, it's like a weird room. It's like there's one part of the train which is an aquarium for fish, and like you carry on walking through, and there's a skull. But the bit that sells it to everyone is the main guy. I think he earned his inheritance. Like he got it. He didn't like. He wasn't like inherited into it. He earned it somehow.
Yeah.
But there's a part in the movie where it says like basically they go into the back of the train, the tail end, and they take kids.
Yeah.
And near the end of the movie, Wilfred, which is the W also, he's saying, "Oh, parts of the train have gone extinct. Like parts have broken, gone extinct, and you need parts to replace it. And the parts he's using are for kids. Like so, there's these little tiny areas which had no mechanics in them before, but are perfectly sized for small children to reach in and sort stuff out.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are saying that was what the Oompa Loompas were doing. They were inside the train, like inside the walls, making sure the train worked. They all died out, so now he's using the kids as like backup Oompa Loompas. And there is loads more into it. Like there's videos on YouTube that are like half an hour long that go into detail of like why Snowpiercer is a sequel to the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
And it's like you hear it, like if you watch the movie, you hear it, you're like, nah. But then you look at the evidence and you're like, you know what, it could be. And then another popular one. Hang on, I did have it on my phone. Just give me 2 seconds. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it? Oh, yeah, that was it. There's 2 more. Heath Ledger's Joker was a ex-soldier in Iraq.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one before.
Yeah. And there's a lot of evidence to lead that, like how he can go into the marching parades, like he does the whole gun twizzly thing, which military guys are trained to do. He goes on about like, oh, a bus full of soldiers blows up, nobody bats an eye, but you kill one senator, everyone loses their mind.
Yeah.
And then the other one is, the last one, is that the Dursleys in Harry Potter weren't always mean. They only became mean because of Harry Potter. Because Harry Potter is a Deathly Hallow.
Yeah, he's a Horcrux, isn't he?
Horcrux, that's it, yeah. He has part of Voldemort inside him, and people who have the possession of Horcruxes turn evil, don't they, eventually, over time. Long exposure.
Down, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's like the theory as to why the Dursleys are evil. Like, not evil, but mean to Harry's because he's corrupted them. And those are some of the theories, but the Snowpiercer one was my main one. So I just wanted to add those few others in there.
Well, so my favourite theory, right? I've only got one, because I only picked one out. But my favourite theory, it kind of interlinks 2 films together, and I know they're completely separate directors. It's not like they're linked in that way. Is the fact that the theory that E.T. the extraterrestrial is actually a Jedi, and I absolutely love that idea. That E.T. is a fucking wizard. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's kind of it's not confirmed, but obviously there is an Easter egg appearance in episode 1 for the Phantom Menace. In the scene where they're all in the the Senate. It does like in the background you see like a little spaceship thing with like loads of little ETs there. And obviously in the ET's film itself, he actually recognises Yoda when it's Halloween. They go trick or treating, someone's dressed up as Yoda, and he kind of goes towards him as if he knows him. And obviously it would explain the reason why he's kind of got healing powers, and he can make the bicycle fly at the end. But I would love it if like E.T. just whipped out a lightsaber. You know what I mean? Just ouch. That would be mint. That would be mint.
Time to go home. Starts doing flips like Yoda did in
episode 3 when it Revenge of the Sith.
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, he's just there like E.T. just going.
Mate, that would be
Elliot,
I'd love it. That would be
the
amazing.
force is strong with you, Elliot.
My life would be complete. Right, anyway. Right, so that's our sort of theories. Obviously, if you guys watching on YouTube or Twitch anywhere, if you've got any theories you want to bring up, obviously make sure you hit that comment, send it in the chat now, or put it the comment on YouTube, or send it to us on Facebook. Anything you want to do. There's a small little announcement today that we have officially made our own Discord server. I have put a post over there on the Facebook page, but I've set up. Well, I say we've set up a Discord server where basically it's like the main hub for the podcast. Obviously our channels in general. Obviously me and Matty both stream. I know Jack doesn't, but obviously he's a part of he's a part of the family. Obviously he's over on there as well. It's got loads of different channels you could talk. So anything you want to talk about, you can literally go directly to a channel and say if you want to talk about movies, there's a movie channel. If there's a trailer channel, there's a gaming channel. Anything you could think of, there's somewhere that you can go on there. You could talk to anyone. We've also set up like a looking for gamers channel. So if you're say short of a man on Warzone, you could just quickly pop a message in there. Anyone want to come on? And it's a good way of socialising with other people. Obviously we'll put all our like live announcements on there and everything. I have made a little streamer section for anyone that is streaming themselves and may just want to shout their own stream out or something. I have no qualms in people doing that. We all grow together, we all support each other. That's sort of like the whole thing of the whole thing of it. I just want to make like a big community for us all. Where we can go and in socialise and meet new people, anything, not all that kind of stuff. So make sure you go over there. There is a link to the Discord server over on our Facebook page. But if you go to the About section on my Twitch channel, it's down there as well. Obviously, I'll put a link to it in the YouTube channel as well. So if anyone wants to go and look there, obviously you're more than welcome. So yeah, really excited to be fair. Hopefully it gets some traction.
Exactly. What we'll do is obviously, as Matt said there, we'll pop a link into the description obviously of the video, and what he'll do is if you're one of them people and you can't be bothered to go to the description, we'll pop a comment into the comments and pin it at the top of the comments so it's right there for you.
Yeah.
So it's having to go. I mean, it's 6 and 2 3s. You can do it either way, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, look, really exciting. Hopefully we can, like I say, gain some traction and we can grow like a little community there. So, anything you want to talk about in there, mate, honestly, put it in there and there'll be someone to talk to you. So, moving on to the final feature of today's episode, we have our weekly actor spotlight. This week, our spotlight's focused on the life and works of none other than Mr. Tom Hanks. The good old Tom Hanks. So, we'll just kick straight into it. Matty, have you got this loaded up? Quick.
I think I've got the first second ready.
Yeah.
I think Hanks described himself as, I think...
Yeah, you've got it. I know you've got it on the screen already. So, I'll kick off. So, Thomas Jeffrey Hanks was born on July the 9th, not the 19th, in 1956 in Concord, California. His mother was called Janet Marilyn, who was of Portuguese descent, and his father, fucking hell, get to talk, man. His father was called Amos Hanks, who had English ancestry, and they moved to America years before. He had 3 siblings, one called Sandra, Larry, and a younger brother called Jim. His family moved very often after his parents divorced in 1960, and by the time he was 10 years old, he had lived in 10 different houses.
So, Hanks described himself as a geek, or as in our terms, a spaz. Growing up as a child, he was terribly shy and did not get on with many of his classmates. Because when he finished college, he studied theatre at the Chabot College in Hayward, California. But he transferred to California State University after 2 years of serving in Hayward, California College.
So in 1979, Tom decided to take the plunge and move to New York to pursue his acting career, landing roles in small budget films like He Knows You're Alone and Mazes and Monsters. After a few years in 1982, he made a guest appearance on Happy Days, which kind of put him into on the map kind of thing. He put him into contact with the director Ron Howard, who's obviously a famous director. This landed him the lead role in a film called Splash, a romantic comedy about a mermaid falling in love with a human. This seemed to be his breakout role, as the movie itself grossed a total of $69 million. Pretty good return.
So Tom's popularity grew in the world of Hollywood, making appearances in movies such as The Money Pit, which I've personally not seen. Big, absolute love that. The Burbs, you'll love that because it says The Burbs. Turner and Hooch, but it was not until the 90s when Hanks landed in his most popular roles in 1995. He was the infamous voice of Woody in Toy Story. No, did that come out in 1995?
It did.
What?
That's crazy, isn't it? But yeah.
If that film,
Same year as Lion King.
That's crazy. Like the quality of that film back then. Like, what?
Yeah.
That film is exceptional for 1995. Fucking hell. A film that would go on to have multiple sequels and his character bringing joy to children of many different ages over multiple generations.
Arguably, his most famous role came in 1994 when he played the lovable character of Forrest Gump. Hanks lit up the big screen with an incredible performance as Gump. He was awarded an Academy Award for Best Actor in a Leading Role and having multiple famous quotes that everybody seems to know. Life is like a box of chocolates.
You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So, Hanks is only the second actor in history to be awarded back-to-back Academy Awards for Philadelphia, which was released in 1993, same as Jurassic Park 1. And Forrest Gump, which was released in 1994, which was a fantastic film. I'm sure we'll all agree on that. The only other actor to achieve this was Spencer Tracy in 1937 and 1938, which I have no idea who he is.
Yeah, quite a feat to be fair. Hanks is one of many on a list of Saturday Night Live hosts to host more than 5 times, joining people such as Alec Baldwin, Will Ferrell, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Bill Murray, and many more. Obviously, Saturday Night Live is massive in America.
Yeah.
There's not a comedian in the world that ain't been on it.
So Tom Hanks has been politically involved for many years, donating to several Democratic politicians during the 2008 US presidential election. He uploaded a video to his MySpace account endorsing Barack Obama because way back in 2008, MySpace was still a thing.
Something you may not know, Tom Hanks is a vintage typewriter enthusiast. The leading man has amassed 250 typewriters over his lifetime and has nearly every make, type and year model that all you typing fans out there can imagine. Hanks isn't shy about his niche hobby. He once wrote an editorial for the New York Times that described the distinct sounds made by typewriters. Honestly, I'm kind of convinced they're cool now.
So Tom Hanks has amassed many fans from many different age groups throughout his career, boasting a wide array of acting talents. Like I say, it is clear to see why he is classed as one of the greatest of all time actors. I mean, it's difficult, because a lot of these films for me are great, but I'm struggling between because what brought you here's a question for all of us and everyone watching. What film is it for you that brought Tom Hanks to a likeable actor for me, I'm torn between Toy Story and Forrest Gump, but
Yeah.
because I don't know. You go ahead.
We'll move on now to obviously at the end of every spotlight we do our top 5. Obviously Jack being the guest, we've got him to do one as well. So Jack, we'll start with you. We'll work from number 5 to number 1. Do you remember your top 5? You do, don't you?
Let me just get. I do have the list up on my other phone. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah. So we'll start with Jack. We'll start from number 5. We'll take it in turns and work our way out to number 1. Obviously, a lot of these will be mixed. We'll have the same ones in different places.
So my 5th position, I put "Catch Me If You Can." I put it at number 5 because it's not really a Tom Hanks movie. It's more of a DiCaprio movie. Tom Hanks does do a very good portrayal in that movie. And it's a very entertaining movie to watch.
Yeah.
At number 4, I put "Castaway." Really, it's Wilson's movie. Let's not beat around the bush. It is Wilson's movie.
Wilson.
You don't go to a shop. You don't see toys of Tom Hanks in a shop as the character from Castaway. You see Wilson.
Damn right. I've got Wilson. I have him somewhere.
There you go. See, it's a Wilson movie. It's still a good movie. Number 3, I put Davinci Code because it was a very different role for him. It's very it's just a very entertaining movie, like the twists and the turns and the plot twists and everything. Very entertaining movie, and you could account for the other 2 movies in that line of movies. Number 2, Saving Private Ryan, because it's an absolute classic movie. A lot of people have said it's like one of the best war movies ever. It's the best depiction of a war movie.
Yeah,
like it's the most accurate. I can't pronounce that word. It's the most accurate movie for war, especially the opening scene in D-Day where he's shaking, but he's got to put on a brave face for his men.
Yeah.
And my number 1 position, I don't care what Matt says, it's Green Mile, because it's a beautiful movie, touches me every time, and it's the only movie that will make me cry like a big girl. Even though he's not the main, he's like the second main character in it.
Yeah.
He makes me care that he has a bladder infection. that the man cannot pee, and that John Carfrey fixes it.
Yeah.
And a fun fact for that movie, John Carfrey was meant to be the second coming of Jesus. His initials JC. Yeah. And also, just to go to Toy Story quickly, fun fact about Toy Story, they only made one kid face for the whole movie. So that scene where you see Andy's party, they're all Andys.
No way. That's cool.
Yeah. If you watch that scene again, like every kid has Andy's face.
No way. I never noticed that.
Yeah.
I'll have to,
just a little.
Have to look into that one.
Yeah. Well, that's my top 5 Tom Hanks.
Right, Matty, you want to shoot your top 5 years? What do you
Yeah,
remember?
of course. I'll go straight ahead. So coming at number 5 for me is Turner and Hooch. But like what Jack said there, it's more of a Hooch film than it. But I mean, overall a great film. Number 4 for me has to. I mean, it would have been higher, but like the ones that are like in the top 3 are just Forrest Gump, absolute brilliant film. It is a really good film. It's a sad film, but it's a good film as well. I really wanted to put Forrest Gump 2, but like my number 2 I loved as a kid growing up with it. But number 3 is Polar Express because, well, if you've ever seen Polar Express, it's a classic. I mean, I know it's not primarily based on Tom Hanks, but he plays he plays a conductor in it, and he plays a great role in it.
Yeah.
I always grew up with Polar Express when I was a kid, like at the Toy Story, but Polar Express for me was always a top film for me.
He actually plays 5 roles.
Yeah, he plays the bloke on the top of the train. I can't remember who else he plays.
Santa.
Plays Santa.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, I didn't even know that. Christ.
Sorry, I had to get that out. I was like, sorry.
I appreciate that. Yeah, helping us. Number 2, it's got to be Big. I loved Big as a kid. Oh, it's just like that scene from like in New York when they go to the big toy store. Which, fun fact, that toy store actually went bust and is not a thing anymore. But yeah, Big. When they go to the piano and play on the piano, when he tells his best friend that it's actually him, when his friend doesn't believe him, and then he goes to visit his mom. His mom gets to spit the shit scared out of her. Am I boring you? Am I boring you? Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely loved it. And my first one's Castaway. Absolutely loved Castaway. I feel a bit embarrassed that I didn't put Saving Private Ryan in because looking at the lads is, well, no spoilers. I'm not spoiling. But yeah, I wanted to put Saving Private Ryan because you know what it is. It is a good war film. I do want to sort of agree that is one of the best war films. But just a sneaky shout out to Dunkirk. I don't know if anyone's seen that. That's amazing. Go ahead, Burbsy.
Right, so we'll go with my top 5. My number 5 it hasn't appeared on anyone's list, but my number 5 is Bridge of Spies. I don't know if anyone's seen that. That is another good war film with Tom Hanks in. He plays like a lawyer that's got to help. It's a German. Is it a German captive? I think it is. But it's a really interesting film. It was like a different kind of war film. Obviously, you hear of a war film, you think, oh, it's all gunfights and people dying everywhere. But it was just like a different aspect to it, which I quite enjoyed. Really good performance by him in that. To be fair, my number 4, I went with Toy Story because it's a classic. Everyone knows Toy Story. It's just one of them films. Great. My number 3, obviously we've heard these now. My number 3 is Castaway. Like the lad said, it's just an absolutely brilliant film. Wilson stole the show, but Tom Hanks gets the honourable mention for that one. Number 2, I've put Forrest Gump. Absolutely outstanding film. The fact the record speaks for itself. He got an Oscar for it, and rightly so, because he was absolutely amazing. It's one of them films you go up to anyone, you say Tom Hanks, they immediately think, oh, Forrest Gump. I think it was his most popular role, and his best performance in any film. But my favourite, like the lads, Saving Private Ryan. That film, like the first time I ever watched it, completely blew me away. It was absolutely amazing. To the point where you sat there and watched it and you think, God, my God, that was like nearly 3 hours long. It's like it didn't seem it at all. It just kept you interested the whole time. You're on the edge of the seat for the whole film, just wondering what's going to happen next. Definitely recommend to anyone to watch it if you haven't already. 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, whatever you want to call it. Absolutely brilliant. So that's my top 5. So obviously, anyone watching now, let us know what your favourite Tom Hanks films, any films that we haven't mentioned there. Let us know in the comments, let us know in the chat, let us know on Facebook, anything you want. But I think that's pretty much it for this week, lads. Unless there's anything else you guys want to mention.
Not off the top of my head. I think that's it.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I put my mic back on. Just want to say why I didn't pick Forrest Gump, and it's because in the book, Forrest Gump has a chimpanzee friend, and I'm upset that he didn't have that friend in the movie.
Oh, that's broke my
Forrest
heart,
Gump.
Imagine
Yep,
that.
Forrest Gump goes to space. Honestly, he goes to space. He makes a monkey friend. He comes back to Earth, and the monkey helps him on the ship. I think.
No way.
Honestly, mate, the second book's even weirder. Like in the second book, Forrest Gump is in the car when O.J. Simpson is running away from the police.
Okay.
I'm not making that up, but yeah.
No way. I need to read them books now. Right, so yeah, we'll end it there. Thank you everyone for watching, wherever it is you're watching from. Be it Twitch right now, be it YouTube at a later date. We appreciate you very much. A massive thank you to Jack for coming on this week. Breath of fresh air. Brought another factor to the podcast that we had before. So really enjoyed having you on, bro.
Cheers.
Really brought your good opinions out, to be fair. And absolutely smashed that Snyder Cut review. So fair play, guys. Anything you want to say, Matty?
No, just exactly the same. And it's nice having someone else on.
Yeah.
Having you on, Jack. I mean, I couldn't comment more on the Snyder Cut because, well, I've not watched it. But like, you give us an insight of what I'm getting myself into. So, yeah. Enjoyed you coming on, lad. I said to Matt, mate, if you want to make it more of a regular thing and if you want to hop on every so often, mate, do it.
Yeah,
more than welcome. I don't mind hopping on every now and then.
Yeah. More than welcome too. I'm sure everyone watching would agree. Anyway, so again, thank you all so much, and we shall see you next week. Bye.
Peace. See ya.